You receive the wrong message. You could be applying the right technique, the right tactic, the right strategy, and it not go well for you. And so my whole way of declaring and waging war on this problem is by giving us an upgrade in our minds. Because I don't need to tell you what to do. I don't need to say, hey, should you get blockers on your phone or should you delete your apps? But when your mind is renewed, and you understand the journey and what it looks like, you'll know exactly what to do. And so my goal is to come with like almost a gentle but ferocious energy, because I love you. I don't want to see you get destroyed. I don't want to see you lack in your life. I want to see you win. I want to see you excel. I want every single person to be able to know that it's so possible to break free.
You like this, you like being daddy's arms with the microphone stuff. You like being a worker. You're made for the camera. Both my boys are.
Hey, this video you are about to watch is a part of a series where I show you how to quit porn the right way. So do yourself a favor, binge on all of this content, all the videos that you possibly can, because who knows, maybe if the value and the trust is built together over this journey, you'll want to jump into a community that I call Fit for Family. Or maybe you think these videos suck, and that's also fair too. But nonetheless, there's only one way for us to find out. So enough of me, let's get back to serving you and let's get back to the video. One of the biggest things that we struggle with is ignorance. Although we live in an information age where we're inundated with knowledge and information all day long, we're actually starving for wisdom. I don't want you to not know, but what you don't know right now is actually really harming you, because if you think that the answer with quitting porn lies in God taking this from you and you're just waiting because you heard stories of it from other people, then you are deceived and you're going to be waiting a really long time. And so that right there is a firsthand example of how men destroy themselves for a lack of knowledge. And that's exactly how I've led so many guys out of pornography addictions or sexual addiction. And that's really beautiful. So you might be like, well, Matt, where did you learn all of this? One of my all-time favorite scriptures is Hosea 4:6. Hosea 4:6 says, men destroy themselves for a lack of knowledge. And women, that means you too. The idea of men or people destroying themselves is due to a lack of knowledge. There's a pervasive thought that every single one of us has heard. A phrase is that ignorance is bliss. But when you look at it scripturally speaking, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is deathly. It's costly. It's destructive. And it's the ultimate reason why you and I aren't where we want to be. It's not that you're not good enough, you're not trying hard enough, or that you're bad, or that you're just a mistake and you should be filled with shame. It's what you and I do not know is the difference on where we would like to be. And if that right there could be like the biggest thing, I think we could glaze over this. We could go beyond this and just kind of like, okay, cool, that was nice, good scripture. Matt shared his opinion on a scripture. I'm like, no. Let's actually bunker down for a moment and think about this together. If the main reason, scripturally speaking, why you and I are destroyed is because of a lack of knowledge, that's telling me right now that one of the biggest things that we struggle with is ignorance. Although we live in an information age where we're inundated with knowledge and information all day long, we're actually starving for wisdom. And so one of my biggest goals here in this process for you and for me and for everyone included is that we get built up with knowledge and love that edifies. You know, the Bible talks about knowledge builds up, but love edifies. And I want to see a merging of both. As I don't want you to be ignorant. I don't want you to not know. But what you don't know right now is actually really harming you. Because if you think that the answer with quitting porn lies in God taking this from you and you're just waiting because you heard stories of it from other people, then you are deceived and you're going to be waiting a really long time. And so that right there is a firsthand example of how men destroy themselves for a lack of knowledge. And other translations would change it to for a lack of vision, for a lack of perspective, for a lack of understanding. But the idea still applies no matter how you break apart the scripture, no matter what translation you're using, is that we are destroying ourselves for what we do not see and what we do not know. And so as I go on these videos with you, I'm going to be incredibly thorough. You might be like, man, why is Matt explaining the same thing over and over again? Like lots of different times and lots of different ways. And to be super real, the reason I'm doing it is because I want it to get inside your spirit with God. I want it to be infused in you. We hear something once, we don't remember. We hear something twice, we'll probably forget. But you hear something 6, 8, 10, 40, 100 times, and then it's going to become ingrained. You know, that's why it says, train a child in the way he should go. In the Old Testament, train a child in the way he should go, and in his later years, he won't depart from it. Why? Because when you get routinely conditioned over and over and over again a certain way, you will follow it faithfully. It'll be so familiar that you will just automatically go there. And so you might hear certain scriptures referenced multiple times. You might hear similar ideas referenced multiple times. But my goal here is that I want to build a case for you to say, you know, God's not holding back from you. You're not bad. You're not dumb. You're not worthless. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. But what we do need to have happen is get an upgrade in our mindset, in our psychology, in our spirit, in our heart, whatever phraseology you want to use, whatever's the most supportive for you, but whatever it is, we need to get absolutely upgraded as a man. And so knowledge, honestly, is going to be a massive piece of this, is unlearning things that we thought were true that just keep us bound, and learning true biblical principled practices that can serve you and help you grow from where you are to where you want to be. I hope you can remember Hosea 4:6. You know, men destroy themselves for a lack of knowledge, for a lack of understanding, and build a case within you that's like, okay, this is a knowledge issue. This is a knowledge issue. I promise you right now, I've been porn for 11 years. I've worked with quite a few guys through this. It's a knowledge issue. It's that the only difference between me and you, it's not that I'm more favored. I'm not more blessed by God. You know, it's not that he loves me more. It's not that he has bigger and better plans for my life than you. Actually, probably not even close to it at all. But the biggest difference is that right now, me sitting where I am and you where you are, is that I know a few things that I've been applying and growing in with my life that I want to share with you. And so that's the journey. That's exactly how I've led so many guys out of pornography addictions or sexual addiction. And that's really, really beautiful. So you might be like, well, Matt, where did you learn all this? How did you know this? How did you get out of ignorance? And it, quite honestly, I did it through a very old school way, you know, that the Bible talks about in Proverbs over and over and over again, Proverbs 4:7, you know, depending on what translation you read, but it says in all you're getting, get understanding. And actually in the Passion Translation, my favorite breakdown of it is, you know, wisdom is a commodity, so buy it. Revelation knowledge is what you need, so invest in it. And so that's what I've done. I've paid smarter people than I am because my parents couldn't help me, my peers couldn't help me, my teachers or educators or people of influence in my life had no clue how to help me. And so I paid for it. I invested in it just like the scriptures say. I've spent easily over $130,000. It's insane. In the past probably 8 years on my own betterment as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a leader, as a learner, as a disciple, as a follower of Jesus. And so the reason why I did that is to honor, to expedite, to speed up so that I can learn what has taken other people decades and condense it into days. And that's the true stewardship principle of wisdom inside, you know, Proverbs that Solomon's talking about, is acquiring that wisdom, acquiring that revelation knowledge. And so I want to impart what I can to you so it can better your life, so it can help you, and condense what's taken me almost a decade to learn and giving it to you in a short frame so that you can accelerate and expedite your journey massively. But again, the lack of knowledge, the lack of awareness is the root of why you and I suffer in almost everything. And if we can learn how to gain wisdom, gain knowledge, gain different perspectives, be challenged in our way of thinking, learn to let it go, learn to challenge and just say, hey, maybe all the beliefs that I have are actually beliefs that were handed down to me by my parents or by their parents. Maybe this is all just a facade and a game. Maybe the story of me being radically unworthy is just something that feels so convenient and familiar and comfortable for me to go back to because it's something that I've been rehearsing my whole life because my history and I have a lot of experiences that have told me that's why I'm unworthy. Maybe, just maybe, all of those experiences put together have created these blocks that are stopping you and I from being able to access the more of God. And the more knowledge perspectives, differentiation in how we see things. Again, I kind of think life is like a diamond, and so we want to come at it from a bunch of different ways. My goal is to say this in so many different ways so you can get a fuller picture, and you can gain clarity, you can gain wisdom, you can gain knowledge, you can gain vision for your life so you can keep succeeding and winning. All right, I love you guys tons. Think about it, dialogue about it, journal on that, share it with your group, talk, have a conversation, discuss what you think that might mean for you, how you've seen that apply in your own life. You're like, yep, I definitely jumped the gun, assumed I knew some stuff, really went wrong there, because I lacked knowledge. I failed that test because I didn't study, which meant I lacked knowledge. Over and over and over again, once you start seeing it, it's going to be really hard to unsee it. You're going to recognize all these patterns in your life. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm struggling because I'm lacking knowledge. When people say that they feel hopeless towards something, it's because they lack knowledge. They lack the understanding that there's actual solutions for them, but it's not conscious in their mind. So they're like, I have no more options. And the way you get people out of hopelessness is through education, is through knowledge, is through being able to impart and help get them educated and be like, hey, you think you can't do anything because you're seeing it through these few ways. But did you know that you can see it all these ways? And it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many things we could do, which is why I'm not hopeless about quitting porn, even though I know so many people are, is because the way we're viewing it is so myopic. It's so narrow-minded with a tiny viewpoint where we're like, the only way we can quit is to pray, read our Bible, go to church, confess, maybe tell somebody, and ask God to take this from us. That's kind of the only thing that we know what to do. Maybe get a dumb phone, maybe delete our apps. And again, not bad things. I'm not saying that they're bad at all. They're great things, actually. They're amazing. I love prayer. I'm in the scriptures. This thing's going to be laced with so many Bible verses. It's going to be amazing. But I also know that there's a practical side of heaven that can really help shape and begin to shift things in your life. So that being said, I love you tons. Dialogue about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, real quick, if you like that video that you just saw, or if you want to see even better videos than this in a series that I made called Annihilate Porn to help guys or girls like you quit porn, you can subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't forget any alerts, comment, like, all that jazz, and more importantly, check out the next video that's going to take you even further on the journey from where you are to where you want to be. I love you tons. I'll catch you in the next one.